Barry Smith, the Kells coach for tonight's game. Obviously a great occasion for the club and for West Cumbrian Rugby League.
It is a big occasion, yeah, we hope to do well.
Just tell us a little bit about the preparation for tonight's big game for you, Barry. What have you been doing this last couple of weeks since you actually knew you were going to be playing Leeds?
Well, with being the Christmas holidays, we've trained in daylight every other day. We even train on Boxing Day, in fact. And then just this week, the local football team loaned us their ground to train under lights. We were fortunate enough last Saturday to get a game in. The team we were supposed to play, Clifton away, their field was unfit, so they transferred and played us at Kells, which was another good gesture. So the whole area's been behind us on this.
Psychologically, how have you been building the boys up? I mean, to be honest, you're going to be facing a team with a galaxy of stars in it tonight. How have you been building the boys up mentally to prepare for tonight's game?
No different than any other game. We have a simple approach, and that is to get the best out of the players we have, play to a game plan, and hope that we come out on top.
The Leeds team, Barry, without naming too many names, which of the players are you going to be keen to look out for?
I think we've got to keep a grip on Powell and Medley. I think that's where a lot of the play comes from, Leeds. That's where they do their most damage.
The team as a whole, have you been studying the Leeds team? Have you been watching videos?
I must have seen 8 Leeds videos in the last 2 weeks, yeah.
If we can highlight a weak link, I mean, where do you think they're weak?
Chunks.
Peter Tunks, the Australian front rower?
Yep.
Fair comment, Barry, fair comment. Of course, knowing the gritty Cumbrian forwards that you've got, I've no doubt that they'll be taking care of Tunksy. The outcome tonight, I mean, I'm asking you, what are you looking for in results terms?
If I didn't think we had a chance of winning, we wouldn't be here.
Fighting talk, Barry. May I wish you all the best. Hopefully it's going to be a great night for the game.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Barry. This is their 4th year of involvement. Do you think it's been a good marriage for Silkcut and the Rugby League?
I think it's been an excellent marriage. This is a game where sportsmanship, spectator conduct, abiding by the referee's decision is all part of the game. I think it's tremendous, really.
Now, there's £160,000 going to go into the Rugby League coffers this year. That's an enormous amount of money. Do you feel as the sponsors it's money well spent?
Well, I can't speak on behalf of the sponsors, actually, and usually advertising and sponsorship is rather an unknown quantity. You don't know whether it sells cigarettes or not.
But it obviously
you advertise the name.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I presume it obviously creates brand awareness, and that's what you're looking for.
Indeed, yes. And the number of people who pick up the Daily Telegraph or the Express tomorrow and straight across the headlines is the Silkcut Challenge Cup, etc., etc. That mainly is what I believe they're after.
Now, these David and Goliath clashes. Oh yeah. Do they excite you as an individual?
Personally, yes. Yeah. I'm a Liverpudlian. Yesterday, Liverpool only beat Stoke 1-0. It's a bit close.
Well, we won't talk about soccer in a Rugby League video.
Of course we won't,
We'll be getting sacked. Do you know much about these two teams?
Not a good. I read the local paper, actually, today, and there's some history regarding the number of amateurs that have beaten Rugby League sides. There's very few of them. I believe the last one was about 1927. Leeds last beat an amateur side in 1925. And, no, it was 1908 an amateur side beat a professional side.
That's right.
Ebervale and Beverley, I believe.
Right, that's a long time ago. Yeah. Now then, tonight's result, can I edge for a bet? Who's going to win tonight?
No way. The sponsor is absolutely neutral.
Alex,
absolutely neutral.
Alex, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Ray Abbey, Leeds assistant coach, you couldn't have asked really for a tougher one. Just 5 days after a final.
That's right. We've obviously got to get the final out of our system now. We've come up here to it's obviously a very good amateur side, Kells, but as far as we're concerned, you know, we could be playing Wigan tonight. It's going to be a hard game, and we're prepared for a hard game.
How have you gone on lifting the boys from that narrow defeat in the John Player final?
Well, so we've got to put it behind us. The lads have taken it. We've got 1 or 2 rested tonight, owing to 1 or 2 knocks and what have you in the game with winners at the weekend, of course, in mind. But we've still got a very, very good strong squad out, and we certainly aren't taking this Kells side lightly.
Can you run us through the Kells team, Ray? Do you know anything about their players at all?
Not a great deal. We just know there's 1 or 2 of them, obviously, that's played international level. And obviously they're a good side. They've run 2 of the amateur sides very close over the last number of years. And I'd say we're prepared for a very hard game tonight up here.
Now, Kells, obviously they're very well known locally. as an amateur team. They've produced many professionals. I believe they've got half a dozen kids here who the professional clubs are chasing after. Is there any individual player out there that you're going to be looking for tonight in the Kells team?
Well, we're always looking at talent, aren't we? But obviously, with the distance mileage-wise from Leeds, obviously it's very difficult to probably bring someone down to Leeds from up here. But you never know. Obviously, we've got thing of the years ahead of us, and if we see a player tonight, we keep tabs on them for the future.
Now then, Leeds, can I ask you for a result tonight, Ray?
I couldn't give you a result except at least to win, of course, but I wouldn't like to put a score on it, no.
Do you think these preliminary games, where the big clubs like yourself are offering yourself in a David and Goliath class, do you think it's on for the Challenge Cup, or would you prefer the big clubs like Leeds to be left out of the competition until maybe the second round?
Well, I think it's a situation that's not in our hands. It's what the Rugby League say we've got to do. We've got to accept it, you know, and we've got to come up here and do it. It's a big night for Kells up here, a big night for Cumberland up here. We've got to come up here, show how good we are, and put on a good game tonight for the people and for the Kells people as well.
Now, the last time you came up here, when you played Whitehaven and John Player, it was a very tight victory for you, but obviously the signs were good because you went on to a final.
We did indeed.
Are you hoping for the same thing tonight?
It'd be very nice for it to happen, but I wouldn't look any further than this game tonight. We've got this game in mind, and after that, when we've got Widnes at weekend, take each game as it comes.
Ray,
with a good victory.
Ray, many thanks. All the best tonight.
Thank you very much indeed, Peter. Thank you.
Who are you here shouting for tonight, girls?
Kells.
What's your name, my love?
Gillian Ray.
Gillian Ray and...
Camille McCartney.
Have you got any favourite players?
No.
No favourite players at all? Do you come down watching Whitehaven?
Yeah, sometimes.
What about Kells? Are you from that area?
No, but we support them.
So, Kells, what score tonight?
Not bothered as long as they win.
As long as they win. What about you?
As long as Kells win.
OK, thanks, girls. Go on, lads. What about score tonight?
32-10 to Kells. 26 to Kells. To Kells.
Have they got a good team, Kells?
Aye.
Do you watch them every week?
No. No, but left them.
Sorry?
Left them.
You play for them?
16-10.
Good lad. Here, boys, who's going to win tonight?
Kells.
You've got a Whitehaven scarf on.
Well, it's right, haven't
Do you watch Whitehaven every week? What's your name?
Stephen.
Stephen.
Tell me, what's your name, son?
Stephen.
What's your name, son?
Tony.
What score are Kells going to win tonight?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
What score are the Kells going to win
I
tonight?
don't know.
You don't know? What's your name, son?
Gavin.
What score are they going to win tonight?
20-0.
20 points to nil. Who's your favourite team in the Rugby League?
Well, St Helens.
St Helens, good lad. Sport a good team. What? Here, lads, what about a score for tonight's game?
Leeds 32, Kells 6.
You look like a stalwart Rugby League fan. What's going to be the score tonight?
I think Leeds is going to win.
Leeds is going to win. What score?
I couldn't tell you a score.
Are you a keen supporter of Rugby League at
Yeah,
Kells?
not at Kells,
Not
no.
at Kells at Whitehaven here?
No, well, yeah, we watch HME, but we watch NCM.
Who do you have to watch out for in the Kells team tonight?
Chris Rudd.
Chris Rudd. He's a good player. isn't he?
Yeah.
What about your score, Louis? Who are you going to go for?
I'd have to be Leeds.
Leeds. OK, thank you very much.
Kells!
Got a few more, John. Right, boys. Are you all local Kells fans?
Yeah!
Who's going to win tonight, Kells?
Kells!
What score?
100
What score tonight, boys?
About 46 now.
46. Now, do you come down watching Whitehaven?
Yes!
So you're keen Rugby League fans, are you?
Yeah!
Who do we have to watch out for in the Kells team tonight?
Got his ball killed, but he's got to get killed.
Kenny's going to get...
Chris Rudd for Kells, he's good.
What about you, Marlon? Anybody to watch out for in particular?
I don't know anybody who wins. Who wins?
Paul Messenger.
You know,
Paul Messenger.
thanks very much.
Wednesday, the 18th of January, 1988, the 13th of January. Welcome to the Recreation Ground, Whitehaven, for the preliminary round of the Silk Cup Challenge Cup. A game which will probably be a David and Goliath match, with the amateur Cumbrian team, Kells, taking on the might of Yorkshire in Leeds. Tonight, It's a tremendous occasion for the people of Whitehaven. So many are turning up to support their local amateur team that the start of this game is being held back so that the crowds who are gathered outside can get onto the ground, so they will not miss a moment of what promises to be a great struggle. The Leeds team already out on the field, showing a few changes for tonight's game. At number 1 at full-back is Gurr. On the right wing 2 is Gibson. At 3 is that frightfully expensive player Schofield. At 4, latest signing David Stevenson, and at 5, John Basnet. Standoff 6, Creaser, and scrum half 7, Lyons. And in the forwards at 8 is the captain Tunks. At hooker 9 is Stevens, 10 Furbank, 11 Powell, just been picked for the French international, 12 Medley, and 13 Jackson. And the substitutes Ashton and Brookcalkin. The Kells team now probably all keyed up, ready to do battle with this team, which must have been paid for by gold ingots from Fort Knox. Kells in the red and white hoops. At 1, Steed. 1 is Seed, Stephen Seed. 2 is Martin. 3, Rudd. 4, Gainford. 5, Stewart. 6, Starkey. 7, Smith. 8, Burns. 9, Davidson. 10, Doran. 11, Chambers. 12, Sparks. And 13, Messenger. And the Kells substitutes for tonight's game: 14, Kenmare, and 15, Clark. The referee for tonight's game now in the centre of the field with the captains, getting them sorted out, is Mr. Kershaw. So great there then for the amateurs, and Leeds with a struggle on the hands. If they don't run in a bandful of tries, they will be said, well, they should have done better than that against amateurs. And if it's held to close, they still won't get a tremendous amount of credit for that. So Kells ready to take on the might of Leeds. Kells to start the game. Rudd, the right centre, kicking off from right to left as we start this, what could be a great battle, a wonderful night for the amateurs. Have fought the way into this preliminary round. Awkward advancing ball, straight into touch. An unfortunate start, straight into touch, so Leeds begin with a penalty from the very centre of the field. Creaser to click for touch down the Kells right wing. Creaser hoists it high, making sure, making no mistake. Tonks, big hefty prop forward, trying to set his team going at Leeds, going crossfield, getting no ground, being met well by Kells. Because Stevens trying to get his team moving. Ball still tight in the forwards. Stevens on to Powell. Powell gets nowhere as the lead, keeping it tight in the forwards. Kells meeting them well, holding them at the moment. As Lyons moves it across. Oh, and there's a gap there. The referee said it was a forward pass. Leeds coming hard onto that ball, straight down the middle. Kershaw right on the spot, and so we come to the first scrum of the game. Smith to feed. And Kells have won the first scrum. A good run by the scrum half, breaking away round the narrow side of the field. Smith in possession for Kells. Playing it down the narrow side, tight in the forwards, coming hard onto it, playing it safe and sure, settling it down in these early minutes. Forwards, a good break by the forwards. Kells coming hard on this ball, giving it all he's got in these early stages now. They're moving it out wider. And this is good running by Kells. Bring play right up to the halfway line. Come on, come on. Sensible grubber kick coming through, and a very good kick indeed. Pushes Leeds back into their own 25. Good sound tactical kick by Kells, setting themselves up in the Leeds 25. With the Lions to put the ball in. Referee standing on the narrow side of the field. Forwards manoeuvring, thrusting for position. And Kells has been given a penalty for a scrum offence. Not in straight. Rudd trying to push his team nearer to the line, and now they're right on the Leeds line in a good attacking position. Kells coming tearing in among the forwards, a bustling, strong, barging, bullocking run coming from these big forwards. Switched by Kells and only just hurled back over the line at the last second. Leeds having to defend desperately. Has a nice switch by Kells, and Kells are hurling all that they've got at the Leeds line. Can they turn this into points? As they move the ball wide, trying to go through and held right in front of the post. All Kells at the moment. Move it out wide, but Stevenson up very quickly, snuffed out the Kells movement. Kells a nice little up and under into the in-goal area, taken cleanly. Kells up quickly. The referee says it's the bomb, so it's from the 25. Leeds coming up quickly onto Tonks. And it's knocked on, and fly kicks through and into touch, but the referee will bring them back. Leeds not handling the ball cleanly, so we're back almost to the 25 line. Smith coming round the pack. From the Leeds side, central and in his own forward seam as he comes round. It's coming out to Kells, doing well for possession, as the full-backs linked up well, and Seed has his legs taken from under him. He linked it well. Starkey trying to get his line moving, and that stern tackling by Leeds. Smith behind the play of the ball. Kells keeping it tight at the moment. It's in among the forwards. Starkey going back inside. And Kells with a lot of the play in these early stages. And a good break. Kells going hard for the line, and that's the 5th tackle. As Smith comes up behind the play of the ball, lobs it out to his standoff to Starkey, tries a drop goal, and it's going to roll dead. Hardly rolls a few inches above the post. The referee back to the 25, says the ball had gone over the dead ball line, flung up quickly, Leeds wide awake as Tonks comes barging through. Kells a little bit slow coming back to organise themselves in defence, and now these strong Leeds forwards, and that's a good tackle. A lot of power in these Leeds forwards. They had a titanic struggle in the other final the other day with St Helens. Onto Powell. Powell trying to come down the middle. Messenger hangs on to him, puts him down. Flung back for the kick. Seed is back. Can't take it cleanly, but it goes behind him in his own 25. Nice sidestep, a good clearing run. Smith behind the play of the ball. Kells bringing the ball away well. Smith again coming up to act in half-back. Crowd doing as the hard men go in. And the referee going to give the forward pass, or is he going to give... So this time it will be Leeds to put the ball in. Lions scrum half for Leeds. Lions feeds coming out quickly to Leeds. Lions trying to make a break. The two Kells half-backs hang on to him. Creaser moving it across. Leeds turning it back into the middle, but keeping the ball moving, stretching the Kells defence. And that's good play by Leeds. Schofield's going hard for the line. The cover comes across and they take him well. Girl from behind to play the ball inside to Powell. Powell driving in hard. Kells defence like bees around the jam pot, swarming all over him as Furbank now tries to batter his way through. And he's held 10 yards out, right underneath the post. Now it's Leeds hot on the attack. Strong and powerful as they move the ball across the field. A little grubber kick. And it's well dropped on by Seed. Covered across very, very well. But they're going to have to battle away hard away from their own line. Pinned down in their own 25 at the moment.
It is causing an obstruction, please, and the gentleman needs to go on a very urgent bit of business.
Kells playing it very sound and very sensibly. Bringing away, fighting for ownership territory. Now comes the kick. It's a good one. It's making Gurr go cross field. And Basnett is with him. Gurr trying to come down the centre, and he's well tackled. Leeds back in their own half now as Creaser tries to get his line moving. Ball flicked back inside. But Leeds still have possession, managed to get the loose ball, and down they go on the halfway line. Clean break from acting half-back. Stevens coming up. Behind the play, the ball out to Schofield. Schofield, a long grubber kick, a good grubber kick, pushing Kells back into their own 25. This pressure could well tell later on in the game. 10 minutes gone. Neither side getting the upper hand at the moment. Kells and Mena. Very impressive start. Into the pack. And Kells winning it again, doing very well in the tight scrums. Forwards coming hard and picked up and bounced down. And lost the possession, and the tackle was so hard. Ball moved out to Tonks. Tonks slips. Stevens behind the play of the ball. Long one out to his loose forward onto Jackson. And the weight telling Furbanks gets it out onto Powell. Powell sends a long pass out onto the wing. Leeds keeping it moving, and the Howell just short of the Kells line. Referee over there seeing what is happening, but Leeds are hot on the attack now. And Kells out like greased lightning. Good play by Kells. And they're bringing it away well. There's a lot of determination. Touch judges on. A lot of determination and courage and spirit in this Kells side. Battling away against odds. Leeds feed, it's coming out the Leeds side. They're penalised. They're not putting it in correctly. Lions in trouble again with the referee. That's the second time he's caught him for incorrect feeding. This should bring some relief to Kells as Rudd comes over to try and get it into touch down the Leeds left wing. Good sure kick. Kells in no way daunted by this team that they're playing against. Acting half-back, making a good run, bringing it up to the halfway line. Nice dummies, it turned back inside. Good play by Kells. Coming up to the halfway line, looking for support. Chambers running well there. Stewart moving it across, trying to stretch the defence. Flattened on the halfway line. And another good grubber kick, but it's covered this time by Basnett coming inside. running crossfield, making himself a target for the Tattered. He came very, very strongly when he straightened up. Stevens onto Powell. Powell being watched very carefully, not been able to get into his stride so far tonight. Lyons moving it across field, forwards trying to crash the way through, and Kells standing up to the battering very well. Stevens changing direction, he's going to get caught in possession. Lyons, long one. Good kick by Jackson behind the defence, good long-ranging kick. And that's an extremely good tactical kick by Jackson. "15 minutes gone, still no score. And this time it's Leeds who've got the penalty for incorrect feeding. Smith accused of not putting it in correctly. Indirect penalty. Leeds a little bit unsure as to what they're going to do. Eventually Tunks decides that it'll have to go into touch. Penalty's taken. Run around onto Powell. Powell trying to crash it. Drops the ball. Good strong tackling. Has made him lose possession. And Kells still keeping it moving. Still trying to come away. Turning defence into attack very quickly. And very smartish there on the tackle. And they're going to find it hard graft bringing the ball away against these big forwards. Kells lob it out to the wing. A lovely break down the centre. 5 tackles gone, says the referee, and Kells are giving as good as they're getting at the moment. Ball's whipped inside, they're going to have to get the kick in. Little overhead one. Ball's loose. And Leeds powering for the line as a long one goes out to Gibson on the wing, and a beautiful cover tackle. Cut him clean in two, but Leeds now hot on the attack as they move it across onto Stevenson. Stevenson trying to bash his way through. Kells' defence sorts itself out. Stevens comes up to the play of the ball, sends a wide pass. And Kells are moving out quickly. They're like greyhounds coming out of the trap, trying to smother Leeds to keep them from getting into the stride. The weight of these Huddersfield forwards telling, and keeping the ball moving. Kells couldn't smother them. Taking 3 and 4 men to hold these big Leeds forwards. And Kells in quickly, but they're keeping it moving. It goes to David Stevenson. Stevenson changing round, going in ever decreasing circles. Schofield sends a high, wide ball and straight into touch to the derisory cheers of this Cumbrian crowd. Well, Kells certainly tied them up, and they got bogged down, and it's a rollover because it was on the last tattle. Good break by Kells, up to their own 25. And Kells turning on a lovely brand of football. They're giving it all they've got, playing with great determination and great skill. 5 tackles gone.
The car that needs to be moved, ladies and gentlemen, with the car owner of B240AG.
Ball still loose. Referee said it's knock on, so it's the rollover. Leeds back in possession. On to Lyons. Lyons moving across the field. Furbank. Shoulder down, bashing his way through. Leeds now coming hard onto this ball and taking a lot of stopping. Out to Powell. Powell not got his balance. Feet go from under him. Stevens behind the play, the ball to Lyons. Lyons moving it across. Tonks is in fairly close, but can always slip the ball. He's so big and so strong into Furbank, and Furbank's buried by the Kells defence. Goes out to Lyons. Lyons trying to take them on his own, puts his head down. And trouble here as Leeds are over. Leeds in for the first try. Almost halfway through this first half, eventually the Kells defence cracks under the power of this big, strong, talented, expensive Leeds team, and they go into a 4-0 lead. Creaser, easy kick, right in front of the post. And he makes no mistake, 6-0 Leeds. Eventually managed to get points on the board and go into 6-0 lead. Good long deep kick. Lyon, little kick as he tries to break his way through. The defence is sound and solid. Powell coming hard down the middle. Ford flung back for the kick. Seed back for it, traps it. Has Stewart with him, decides to go on his own. Stewart coming up behind the play, the ball. Stewart, little run from acting half-back, moving well across the field. Stewart waiting behind the play, the ball. Short pass, tight in the forwards. Switch of direction, Kells. Lobbed in the air and swung round and thrown back by Medley. Kells moving it out well out to the right. Leeds defence is so strong, and 5 tackles have gone. Kells still battling inside their own half, keeping the ball moving. Eventually put the grubber kick in, and it's a good kick, low and hard and difficult along the ground, and finds touch. 5 yards inside the Leeds half. Lyons feeds, stuck in the pack. Lyons caught in possession at the base of the scrum. Kells round quickly to smother them, keep them from moving. David Stevenson trying to make a break, well backed up on the inside. Rudd coming across, does enough to hold his man. 2 centres, Rudd and Gainford having to hang on to the man. Stevens coming up onto Schofield. Schofield, a long lob pass which comes out to Gibson. Gibson cutting inside. Cover comes across well to take him. Onto Tonks. Tonks, big, strong, hefty forward. And then once again he gets the ball onto Gurr. Gurr onto Lyon. Lyon moving it across the field onto Jackson. That strong defensive work by Kells is holding Leeds, smothering them at the moment. Now they're coming hard. Jackson breaking through again, and Leeds are over. underneath the post. Superhuman efforts are needed by this Cumbrian side to hold Leeds, and having great difficulty. The strength is telling all the time, and once again Leeds go over underneath the post to make it now Leeds 10, Kells 0. Once again, Creaser with the easiest of kicks. And that makes it 12. 25 minutes gone. Kells 0, Leeds 12. And it isn't just a mountain now these lads have to climb, it's Everest. Terribly difficult task ahead of them. Rudd once more coming up to the centre to restart. Hard and low. Plenty of Leeds players that belted back to Seed at full back, having to retreat, to recover. A lot of blue jerseys up facing him. And he's bounced down. Shaken somewhat in the tackle. Referee bringing them back a big 5 yards. Chambers trying to batter his way through. Strong tackle by Medley. On the narrow side. Once again, another good grubber kick. Finds touch just short of the halfway line. Lions to feed the scrum. Feet are all over the place. Referee wanting another scrum. And he's going to penalise Leeds for lying down in the pack. Good kick by Rudd. Takes it halfway. Up to 25. On to Burns. Burns turning. On to Stewart. Stewart moving it across, and a nice dummy by the standoff. Starkey nearly through, but snatched out of the air at the last minute. And that's hard, tough tackling, bruising tackling as Leeds come tearing in defence. Nice switch of direction by the half-backs. Switch back inside, and Kells moving the ball well. Good combined play, and they sweep down the field. Surge up to the 25 line. Quick play of the ball, they're not moving on to it, Kells. Now they're going forward. Now the machine's in gear. Genford moving it inside. By good play, wonderful play by Kells, and now they're turning it on, and they've taken it right up to 15 yards out. The referee says it's the last tackle, so it's the turnover, so unfortunate for Kells, they lose possession. Now it's Leeds' turn to try and graft the way out of their own 25 line. Perms going in, trying to hold them there in the 25. Not had a lot of the game territorially. Now it's Powell. Powell, who's not been too effective tonight. Onto Tonks. Tonks flicks the ball onto Powell. And they've plenty of heart in these Kells players as they go in to the giving it all they've got against this big strong team. The long kick is well covered, beautifully trapped by Martin. Martin coming hard and fast. Good run by Martin. Well positioned there for that kick through. Took it well. Kells lose possession. Points into the Tonks now, powerfully. The Leeds have dropped it, fly kick through. This should be covered by Stewart. Sensibly gets possession for his team. Back to half back, flicks it inside. Good run from the full-back from Seed as he's joined up with the attack. Creaser needing attention. Doran fighting for every inch of ground. Oh, just too far, just over the touchline, so we scrum back. Creaser. Somewhat injured Gibson going into the centre of the field. Creaser's come out onto the wing. Kells player needing attention. Referee going over to have a look at him. Looks like the hooker. Looks like Davidson. Breathing again. Had the magic sponge. Hard and tough. In this robust, vigorous, but clean game. Lyons gets it out onto Schofield. Schofield moving it across. And it's been fly kicked through by Gibson. Referee's let him play go on. And they roll over and into touch. Gibson in the centre of the field, and the touch judge marks it at 15 yards out from the Kells line. Kells back in their own 25 again. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Very untidy scrummaging. Kells doing well in the tight scrums. They're getting a lot of possession. And it looks like Kells are going to make a substitution. Leeds are going to make a substitution. Clark coming along the touchline as Kells battle the way out of their own 25. War of attrition for Kells as they have to struggle, and that's a hard tackle on Burns. Big, tall, blonde forward Burns. Done a lot of hard graft, and that's a good run. Beautiful play by Kells. Left-footed kick, covered by Gibson, who's come back out onto the wing. Cutting inside, and he's cut in two by good solid tackling. And Leeds are broken through again. And this is going to be another 4 points. It comes out to Gibson, the cover comes across. Oh, what a fantastic tackle. Was all over a try, and he came across well. Clark going to be brought on for Creaser. Unfortunately, it was so close to the line. He managed to stretch over and increase the lead to 16 points to 0. But that was a beautiful tackle by Kells as they covered across. David Stevenson taking a lot of care with this kick. And it's way off the target. Previous kicks being taken by Creaser, who's now going to leave the field. Brooke Cowden coming onto the field. Chris Rudd lifts this one high. Powell stopped dead in his tracks. Leeds playing safe tactics as Furbank puts his shoulder in and drives forward. And Lee Kells quickly onto the loose ball. Urged on now by the crowd. Like running into a brick wall though, running into this Leeds defence. Still they're coming powerfully. Onto Gainford, Gainford, and loses possession. Dropped on. Leeds gladly to take it. As Brooke Cowden, big, powerful, hefty player. Stevens from behind the play the ball. Being chased by his opposite number, Davidson. Davidson takes him inside to Schofield. Schofield, a long ball across. Lions can't take, and it's a knock-on. Well, it's Smith to feed the scrum. Smith puts it in, it shoots out. Gets it out to his standoff. Stanway, nice dummy. Starkey trying to dart through. Powerful running by Kells. Good, coming really hard onto the ball. "16 points behind, but they're still playing their hearts out. Kells inside the Leeds 25. Doran, nice little kick through and well placed near the line. Snapped up by Leeds. And Kells following up quickly, smother them. And the referee's given a penalty for tugging at the ball. And stealing the ball after the tackle was completed. Bit of a let off for Leeds. Leeds with a tap on their own 25. Stevens takes a tap to Brooke Cowden coming inside. Stevens again from behind to play the ball. Leeds bring it away among the forwards. And a comfortable 16 points to nil Leeds as Tonks comes forward. Turning it back inside, and once again they turn down the middle. Lions going hard, looking for support, and the ball's gone astray. Kells snap it up, and Kells coming away but can't get moving. Bit of lying on by Powell. Stewart wanting to get up quickly and get that ball played, and Powell was holding him down. So Kells have got the penalty. And that's a good kick for Tubbs, brings it right up to the halfway line. Davidson turning it back inside. Smith behind the play the ball, handing it on, doing the run around. Kells full of ideas. Smith trying to get his team moving once more. On to Byrne. Byrne coming hard. Powerful run. Gets the ball out well. And it's a break by. And that was lovely play again by Kells. Going hard for the line now, and unfortunately snatched out of the air at the last minute. 5 tackles gone. And the lost possession, snapped up by Leeds. Grave danger for Kells as Leeds quickly onto the loose ball, turning and twisting, and good tackling eventually snuffs it out. Canefoot going across well into the tackle. On to Powell. Powell tries to crash his way through and he's buried from the three strong tacklers. On to Tonks. Tonks slips. They hang on to him. Stevens lobs it back for the kick. Bounces off his shoulder. And Leeds snaps onto it, switched inside. The referee says they're offside. Right on the spot, Mr. Kershaw, right on the spot. Then Gibson was offside, and so Kells get the penalty. Almost on the stroke of half-time, and bit of injury time stoppage. And that's a good kick, good relieving kick. Smith. Smith doing the run around. Byrne coming inside, he doesn't give it to him. Leeds moving up quickly, forcing Kells across the field. Schofield quickly up into the line out. And a penalty for hanging on again in the tackle. Tonks not happy with it, asking what's going wrong. And Rod sets Kells up again in a good attacking position. Smith comes up to take it. Burns and Doran in the wall. Luca, Smith run round, they switch direction. And there goes the hooter for what has been a very entertaining first half. Leeds, team of many talents, very strong, very tough, playing up against an amateur team that are giving of their all, and so they go off at half-time with a score, Kells 0, Leeds 16.
Mingling with the crowd in a few moments. Please be gentle, this is worth £100. And a shooter's coming to the presentation will be made after the match in the Kells courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen, will earn £1,200. The second round losers will earn
When he's sitting down.
Touch, next to it. Touch. Yard touch. I'll watch for him coming. So the teams return to the arena. Leeds in a commanding lead, 16 points to 0, but Kells can well be proud of the performance so far this evening. And this half, of course, Leeds will be playing from right to left. And it will be David Stevenson to restart the... That's it. Smallish penalty. Referee blows them on for the second half. Can't really see Kells saving this game, but they've given them an extremely spirited, determined performance so far. Back in their own 25. Smith moving it along the line. Leeds not giving an inch. They might be playing against amateurs, they're playing it just as hard and determinedly And there's a good high hoisted kick. Gibson having to chase back for it, and Kells up very quickly. The referee says they're up too quickly and he gives them offside. Judge, they're in front of the kicker. So Kells are forced back just inside their own half. Stevens coming up to take the tap. No. And the halfway down, doing the run around. Leeds now trying to spread it out. Good crowd on, 4,874 enjoying every minute of this game as Stevens comes up. Tries to bash his way through from behind the play of the ball. Not a particularly good play of the ball. On to Tonks. Tonks holding his pass, gets it on to Medley. Medley turning it back to Tonks. Tonks on to Brooke Cowden. Brooke Cowden coming in hard. Kells hanging on to him. Boren grabbing at him, trying to force him down. Helped by Martin. Comes out to Lyons. Lyons moving it across field. On to Powell. Powell on to Stevenson. Stevenson getting it across. And all Leeds have done, they've gone across field, they turn it back inside and keeping it moving, and there's the danger because Kells are having a job smothering them in the tackle. Leeds are able to slip the ball and keep the momentum going, keep the attack going. Referee signals 5 tackles have gone. Little overhead kick. Kick through, the ball's loose. Belted over the line, the referee going to blow them back. Smith to feed the scrum, wheeling all over the place, and it's coming out to Smith, bringing it away from the scrum, but the pack breaks quickly and down he has to go. Powell moving up very, very fast indeed. And that's a good long raking kick. Oh, just too far, just over the touchline. Kells looking as if they're going to use the kick to get out of trouble in their own 25, save the forwards the hard graft against this big Leeds pack. Ball coming out the lip now and around quickly. Referee signalling they come around too quickly, and so it's a penalty to Leeds. They're offside at the scrum. Leeds doing it the hard way, sucking in the defence. Referees going to penalise Kells. Hanging on in the tackle. And this is rather pedestrian stuff at the moment from Leeds, and they're just battering away. And that's good defensive play. Kells came out like lightning. Smothering Leeds before they can get into the stride. And they've lost possession. Great roar goes up from the crowd as Leeds regain it. And there's no quarter being asked for and given in this hard, tough cup tie. And it goes to Powell. Powell driving for the line. A big, strong pass forward. And eventually forced down, 10 yards short of the line. Stevens behind the play of the ball. And Kells up very quickly, ball's loose on the floor. And Leeds lost a lot of ground in possession. Lions coming over behind to play the ball. Leeds playing one-man rugby at the moment as they batter towards the Kells line. Now they're spreading the ball across. Schofield turning back inside. Ball turned inside and backed up. Comes out onto David Stevens. Gets it out to Basnett. And he's trying to force himself over, but the cover comes across to take him. 5 tackles are gone, right on the Kells line, as David Stevenson lobs the ball up high in the air. And Leeds are over from a rather scrappy, messy sort of try. Leeds 20, Kells 0. Set up by David Stevenson, lobbed a high ball. Play gone in the second half. David Stevenson hooks it very badly, not kicking well. $20 points to 0 at lead as Kells come back up. Rod once more to restart. Hard along the ground, awkward bouncing ball, taken cleanly. Once again, the great hefty forwards come tearing down the middle. Out to Tonks. Tonks, powerful man, lets the ball go. Ball not picked up cleanly, so it's going to be a knock-on. Smith feeds, gets it out, the referee wants it penalising Kells for being down on the floor. No penalty been given to Kells. Referee signal not too clear at first as Rod belts a high ball and a good kick by Rod. Now Leeds back in their own 25. Kells in a good attacking position as the forwards come belting the way forward. Now Kells coming one man at a time. Forwards trying to crash the way over and still going, still keeping it going, pressing their advantage home. Leeds defence holding very firm and very secure as Kells throw all that they've got at them, trying to spread them wide, and they've knocked on. Rod unable to take it cleanly. The Lions to feed, 12 yards out from his own line. Quickly out to Lions, and Smith round very quickly to smother him so he doesn't get him moving. Some grim, fierce, dour tackling coming from Kells. Going in hard into much bigger opponents. There'll be some very sore, bruised bodies at the end of this game. And for a team of Leeds talents, they're not playing very sparkling football at the moment. It's mostly power stuff. Gainford goes in, knocks his man down in the 5th tackle. Seed back at full back. Has Martin with him, he decides he's going to go on his own. Kells battling for every inch of ground as Smith comes over, trying to get his team moving. Battling the way into the Leeds half. And they're putting a lot of pressure on Leeds. And that's another extremely intelligent tactical kick. And Kells having quite a bit of this game territorially in this second half. Lyons feeds. The referee keeping a close eye on them, a little bit of aggro creeping in. Referee having a word with Smith. And they're all heart, these Kells players. The referee has given a penalty, an indirect penalty to Kells. And the way these lads are playing, they'd run through a brick wall. A lot of pride in the game and a lot of intelligent football and a lot of skilled football coming from Kells. But they lose possession. Referee rushing over, bit of a 1-1, they've got it back again. Oh, and that was a hard tackle by Leeds as they came tearing out in defence. A tremendous amount of coverage and grit being shown by this Kells team. As they tack down the right wing onto Gainford. Gainford turning it back inside. Smith waiting for the play the ball. Long pass. Trying to stretch the team. And Kells being pushed back in possession as they go down in the fifth tackle. Little grubber kick, well covered, ball's loose on the floor and it's an offside. Penalty to Kells, right in front of the sticks. Kells decide they're going to go for the try rather than the goal. Putting the pressure on, it comes out again, but out to Rudd. Rudd running back inside. And he's bounced down. Kells finding it very difficult to break down this solid Leeds defence. Powell coming in hard into the tackle. And Leeds get possession in the tackle. It's a little bit cumbersome as they come away. Kells moving quickly. Stevens from behind the play the ball, switches directions. Contact Cowden, bringing Basnett inside. Basnett's well tackled. Tonks managed to get his pass in after he's held. And that's a good throw. Hurls him down to the ground. The referee signals 5 tackles have gone. Stevens. Well trapped by Martin. Picks it up cleanly. David Stevenson goes across and takes him. Smith behind the play the ball. Moving the ball out well. Kells handling well and then it breaks down. Kells have had a lot of ball in this second half. Gurr from full-back. Kells up quickly. And he's looking hurt. Referee stops the clock. 16 minutes gone. Gurr hurt in the tackle. Quite a clean tackle. Leeds leading by 20 points to 0. Referee saying get on with the game. Strong run by Medley. Sets Leeds hot on the attack again. And Leeds now going tearing for the line. Bags of support. And Kells backtracking quickly. Momentarily halt to the danger, but Leeds now in a strong position. The ball is moved out wide onto Schofield, onto David Stevenson. Throws a bad pass out to Basnett. Basnett has to pick it up off the floor. Managed to turn it inside to Gurr. Gurr keeping it going. Going hard for the line. And once again, the ranks close, the defensive ranks of Kells close, and they're holding Leeds out. They've held them now very well in this second half. And the ball's gone astray, and Kells have it flicked up in the air by Tonks. Kells back to 10 yards out from their own line. Forwards having to do the hard draft. Fighting the way out of their own 25. And the last tackle coming up. Not a particularly good pass, and it's a knock-on, so it'll be a rollover. Clark warming up for Kells. David Stevenson goes for the line. And he's taken out. Well tackled. Not seen a lot from David Stevenson really for an international. He's not got very far against this stout defence. Leeds now giving, as Tonks turns it back inside. Kells fighting, making sure they shall not pass. And that's drop out from the 25. Ball dropped over the try line. Bit of relief for Kells, who defended well. And Clark is coming on as substitute for Kells. And Doran coming off. Tall lad. Kells then from their own 25. And Clark gets his first touch of the game, gains 10 yards of ground. And this Kells pack was playing its heart out. Kells taking it into the Leeds half. Fly kick at the ball and Leeds get possession. Leeds just one try to show in this second half. Kells right up as Powell, getting nowhere at all. The Kells defence holding him sure and safe. Ooh, and you could hear the crunch of bodies there, and he's hurt in that one. They met hard, fair and square, but they met hard. Tonks moving it along the lines. Leeds switching it back into the middle. Davidson turning it, good handling by Leeds. As it comes out to Basnett. Basnett being chased by Martin. Inside to Lyons. Lyons to Tonks. Tonks moving it across. Powell a long pass. And that stretch for Schofield going for the line. Powering his way over. And that's the skill of Schofield. He can pick them out of nothing. And Schofield now makes it 24 points to 0. Ball whipped quickly along the line. And Schofield scooting over makes it 24-0. Kenmare coming on. David Stevenson lifts it high and off the target again. This game getting further and further away out of Kells' grasps. It's just a question of what can they keep the score down to as they come up into the hard last 20 minutes. The strain of all this hard tackling beginning to tell now as we come into the last quarter of this game. Stevens from behind the play the ball onto Powell. Powell being taken by Clark. Stevens doing the run around, doesn't get the return pass, and the pass is forward. 4,000 Cumbrian voices scream forward pass. Kenmare having come to blindside prop, a little bit of, and it looks as if the scrum half is going to need the holy water. The Smith looking as if he's got a cut on over his forehead, over his eye. Those heads went in hard in the front row. Once again, Kells get the ball out. Starkey trying to drive his way through the defence. Kenmare having a little run. As these Kells forward try to bat their way through, the ball's gone loose. Referee lets it go to get the advantage. Kells now, little dummy going back inside, well run by Gainford. Sold a nice dummy, referee says they're back to 1. Kells trying to stretch them. Leeds move up quickly. Kells being forced back inside as Leeds move up into their line out. Finding it very hard to gain ground. Dragged over the touchline. Crowd think not as Rod tried to bustle his way through. Lines to feed. Packs wheeling all over the place. Lyons puts it in, shoots out to Lyon, gets it pass out. Moving the ball well. And Kells cover across so quickly and so well. Over to the touchline. Fourth Leeds into touch. Trainers on again as a Kells player flat on his back. Referee seemingly unaware of what is going on. Ball coming out the Kells side. Nice pass out to Starkey. Starkey coming strongly. Kells, who's shown a lot of talent and a lot of skill, being bounced down on the halfway line. That's a long ranging kick, but it's not going to find touch as Basnett tries to give a dummy, which is not. Martin going in quickly takes him. David Stevenson trying to bring the ball away. Stevens from behind the play of the ball. And Furbank driving in, managed to get his pass in. Powerful running by Furbank, and some of these Kells lads begin to look a little bit tired now, a little bit weary. And there's an awkward overhead kick. Seed can't take it, but it's well covered by Stewart coming in from the wing. Kells forced back again into their own half. Clark trying to bustle his way through, nearly up to the halfway line before he's down. To Kenmare. Kenmare coming well onto it. Long wide pass. Using the kick well, but Gary's across to take it. In his own 25, and the red and white hoop jerseys are up there, and he's taken well. That was good play by Kells. Followed the kick up very quickly, pushing Leeds back into their own 25. And Leeds bogged down, not being able to shine against this amateur side. Stevens coming over to the play of the ball, out to Smith. Smith, little overhead kick, and it's covered. Ball's gone loose, snapped up by Leeds, going hard for the line. Schofield, all the speed in the world, sends a wide, long, wide pass out to the wing. And Gibson goes in at the corner to make it now Leeds 28 to Kells 0. And for long periods of time, Kells are right in the grain. Leeds seemingly bogged down, and then when they break away, they have the speed and strength to finish off. And so, with about 10 minutes still left of this half, Leeds going to a 28-0 lead. Once again, the goal kick has been missed. This crowd would be so delighted if Kells could get a try. And from the manner in which they played, they are well deserving of it. Kells being urged on by the trainer. Leeds once more coming out of their own 25. Fly kick through, being chased. And the referee's going to bring them back for the knock-on. It's coming down then just on the Leeds 25. Smith to feed. He gets it out. And unfortunately for Leeds, ball goes astray. Referee's right on the spot. Gives the knock on. Kells dropped it. Schofield couldn't pick it up cleanly, so he scrummed down. Ball's coming out to Kells again. Seed linked up well, going hard for the line. A good run. And referee giving a penalty for an incident in the tackle.
The members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, who are the adjudicators tonight of the Silkcut Award for the outstanding performance of this match, worth £100 and a Silkcut Challenge Cup 1988 Special Edition card, has been won by the Leeds player John Lyon.
And the Leeds scrum half has been nominated as man of the match as Kells take the tap penalty, working the run around.
The Silkcut Challenge Cup will take place on BBC Hook North between 6:30 and 7 p.m. on Monday the 1st of February.
Kells a long wide pass. Once more trying to force the way down the middle, held 15 yards out, wanted to get up for a quick play, to kick through at the play of the ball. But Kells managed to retain possession. Still keeping the ball moving, determined play, ball's whipped out, they're going for the line, and the held just short. Really turning it on now, Kells. Fighting desperately to get some point, and a wild pass has lost them a lot of ground. Tiredness creeping in now, inaccuracy coming off in the passing. There's an overlap if he can't get the ball, comes out to Martin. Martin having a run for the corner, has he got the legs? And he's taken. Crowd are standing on the touchlines, and I cannot see who has the ball. It's a sixth tackle, so we're in the rollover. A lot of spectators standing right on the sideline as Leeds try to bring the ball away, running wide across the field into the centre towards their own posts. Tonks proving a real handful. Little overhead kick, Seed is there, takes it well, beats one man very nicely, and Schofield comes over to swing him round the narrow side. Kenmer trying to force his way through. Leeds moving in quickly, that's good handling by, and a lovely break by Kells, turning down the middle. And unfortunately eventually caught from behind. Player hurt in the tackle. A lot of it now, you get the injuries when you're tired and weary and you've been battered. and banged about for 80 minutes, and the Leeds side have shown no mercy. They've gone in just as hard as if they were playing the St Helens and Warringtons and Wigans. They've shown great respect and great regard for this Kells side, and well have they earned it. Two to 3 minutes of Norman time left, looking like a touch of cramp as the trainer hands out the treatment. Kells still fighting till the last minute. Ball's gone loose, but it's gone back with referee coming to see who has it. And he's decided it was a knock-on. The Lions to feed the scrum. Lions who've been nominated as man of the match. And looks as if Doran, hard to see the numbers in the mud, is coming back on. Referee holding the pack up until the injured player is off. Ball's in. Coming out to Leeds, and Smith ran very quickly to take Lions. Leeds not been able to cut loose against a strong tackling Kells defence. They've defended manfully. Now Tonks coming in big and hefty and strong and so skilled at getting rid of the ball. Schofield kicks behind the defence. Seed having to retreat into his own 25. They must seem an awful long way down this field now to these Kells players. Must be aching in every limb. And there's a drop pass. Leeds with it, and the referee says it's a knock-on, not been picked up cleanly. Leeds getting possession, but Kells well offside. Well offside at the scrum, ran far too quickly. Penalty to Leeds. Decided they're going to take the tap. Out to David Stevenson. Stevenson hanging on to it. Turning inside. Ball's been knocked on, not been taken cleanly. With Smith to feed the scrum. Kells having trouble getting down. Davidson's head sticking up out of the scrum now. It's Stevens who can't get down. The ball's fed, it's coming out to Smith, coming around the narrow side with it. Kells in their own 25, living a bit dangerously as they move the ball across the field, right in front of their own posts. Acting half-back, bringing it away well. Flipped inside nicely, the ball's gone loose, and there goes the hooter for the end of what has been an extremely good game. A real David and Goliath effort, and Kells must be a very proud team as they go off the field tonight, having put up an extremely good performance. 28 points behind, but still a good performance. They've played their hearts out. They showed a lot of skill. They showed a lot of talent. They showed a lot of rugby know-how, and they must be very pleased that they've done so well against the Leeds team, and that one can but congratulate the Kells side on a wonderful performance. So then the final score, Kells 0, Leeds 28.
Maurice, a good victory as far as you're concerned tonight.
Yeah, it was, Peter. We knew the technicalities of coming up here to play Kells. We knew that we'd have to come to a dark Whitehaven ground on a dark January evening. We knew, because we'd phoned up to see the conditions of the ground, that it would be ankle deep in mud and very heavy clinging mud. I actually walked into the centre of the field just before the game, and I was amazed at the non-give whatsoever in the ground. It was absolutely like a deep clinging sponge. But we knew we had to face this sort of crisis. We also had to face the backlash of losing in the John Player match only 4 days ago. So the players had to pick themselves up, and I had to try and pick them up a little bit. We've also got the Widnes match on Sunday on our mind, but in between playing in the John Player Cup final at Wigan and playing Widnes, we had to come up to play a little amateur team called Kells. Now, if you imagine that you are a Kells player, if you're 5'10" and 15 stone up blindside prop, when you play against Leeds in a one-off match in your life, you're going to be 6'3" and 17 stone, and you're going to play like it. And that's exactly how Kells played tonight. But the beauty of our performance tonight, I think we did a thoroughly professional job. We didn't have our line breached. There was only one occasion when Kells could have taken points against us. That was a penalty right under the post in the last quarter of the game, when, to their eternal credit, they decided to run the ball. And we finished up with a 0 scoreline against us, and we in fact scored 6 tries. The unfortunate thing of the scoreline from our point of view is that the goal kicks from the tries were all wide out. David Stevenson missed, I think, 4, but all were on the touchline side. So in a nutshell, Peter, we were in sort of a no-win situation. If we'd have come up here and won by 60 or 70 points, people would have said, that's exactly what it should have been. We'd have got no credit from it. We've come here and worked for a very hard 28 points to 0 win, which I thought was a very good professional display under the circumstances, the weather conditions and the ferocity of Kells' enthusiasm. And so I'm fairly delighted with the performance.
Yeah, you obviously had a lot to do with the boys after Saturday's defeat. What was your preparation for tonight's game?
A little bit low-key. I didn't want to put them under pressure after the pressure of the John Player final and the trauma of losing it in a very unfortunate manner by a drop goal. So we had Sunday off, and I selected the team on Monday, and Monday evening we just went through some set pieces and more of a less pressurised training performance. And then we met at Headingley this morning at 9 o'clock, and we were out on the field just doing a very light training session at 9 o'clock. We were on the bus at 10:15 on our way up to Kells, and we stayed off at a local hotel at Bassenthwaite, and we'd booked 8 double rooms for the players. We had a lunch at Bassenthwaite at 1:30, and we'd booked these 8 double rooms, and most of the players wanted to lay down, wanted a 10 or an hour's kip. They went to bed for an hour and a half, took a shower, came in the dress tracksuits, and we came down to Whitehaven. So that was a preparation since Sunday.
Now, the Kells team, as amateur teams go, I thought they played particularly well. What about any individual performances that stood out for you?
No, it will be unfair. This is the first time I've seen Kells in 2 years. I saw them play remarkably well at Hunslet 2 years ago in the prelim of the Rugby League Challenge Cup when Hunslet beat them. And in fact, we watched that tape coming up on the bus this morning. But I thought that performance at Hunslet 2 years ago was a better performance for Kells than this evening. I thought this evening Kells were bravery personified, but I don't think they had much flair with the ball in the hands. They were coming up against a First Division team's tackling too, and I thought we tackled very well. I can only count possibly 2 occasions that there was half chances for Kells near our line in the all 18, yet we created many. I think the Kells team of 2 years ago was certainly, on a one-off match, looked a better outfit than the present day's team. But I will say this, I don't think the Kells team of 2 years ago defended as well as this present Kells team. And good coaches have always told me that good sides are built on defence. And my word, Barry Smith has got a damn good side on his hands, because those boys tackled manfully tonight.
Now, there's a few positional changes tonight. You dropped in Jackson at loose forward. Were you pleased with his performance?
Yes, all round I was. Dave Heron had a sticky sort of a match on Sunday, and he's the first to admit it. He didn't particularly want to play this evening. He wanted to get himself prepared and offered for selection for Widnes next Sunday. Stevie Morris, Slippery Morris, I gave a rest on the wing so I could give Carl Gibson a well-deserved run on the wing. And also, by moving Jackson to loose forward, allowed me to give debut to David Stevenson, who we've recently signed from Wigan. John Lyons came in at scrum half. He's been playing remarkably well in the Alliance team this year, at the top of the league, by the way, at the present time. And so he deserved a chance. And I also took the opportunity of resting Colin Maskill, who's been virtually never present for us since early in the season, again with a view to the match against Widnes on Sunday. So I included Darren Stevens, the Australian hooker who's played so well in the A-team this season.
Now, I asked Ray Abbey before the game that possibly this was going to be a good omen for you. You started here with defeating Whitehaven in a very tight game to get on to the John Player final. Are you hoping that this is going to lead up to the Challenge Cup final?
I'm not superstitious, Peter. The only, I mean, if we want it to be even more superstitious, we may say 2 years ago when Leeds got through to the replayed semi-final with Hull Kingston Rovers, they in fact played in a prelim match, I believe, at Swinton, and they drew against Widnes in the Cup that year, and then drew the semi-final. So I think Leeds that year played 7 times and didn't go to Wembley in the Challenge Cup. So if we're superstitious, we may say, yeah, it's a good omen to play a preliminary round as we came up in the first round also against Whitehaven in the John Player. But I'm not superstitious. The only thing that we're ensured now is that we play Castleford in the first round proper, and that's the second game I'm looking to. The first game, of course, is Widnes on Sunday.
Maurice, congratulations for tonight. I hope you look forward to a good cup run in the Silco Challenge Cup.
Thanks very much, Peter.
Barry, a performance from the boys tonight I'm sure you can be proud of.
We defended well, but we didn't control the ball very well, and they took the chances that we gave them. A couple of tries, a little bit dubious, but I think they'd one disallowed that I would have give. They've done well, they've done well.
Yeah, bearing in mind, yeah, when you've got the football, you're playing against the First Division defence there. Your tackling was spot on, like you mentioned. Did the boys stick to the game plan?
Our kicking game, the first half was abysmal. We wanted also to play wider off the second receiver, and we were getting bogged down off the half-back. So we tried to sort that out at half-time, and I think things got a little bit better in the second half, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you, in particular, your back row and your two halves played very, very well tonight.
Yeah, especially the 6. I mean, he's been playing full-back for us all season, and he's just moved up there because of injuries we've had, and he done really well for us, yeah.
Yeah, sadly we didn't get much opportunity to see young Chris Wood, this new exciting young player, wide out. Obviously, I'm sure you want to utilise him throwing the ball wide.
Well, that's right. That's what I was saying to you. We tried to get the ball a bit wider second half. He got one run towards the end of the game, and I mean, it's only one glimpse, but you could see what he done there. He would just side straight through the middle of the Leeds defence. Yeah.
Now, the Whitehaven public certainly came out and supported you well tonight, didn't they?
Great, tremendous. That enforces the reasons why we wanted to play here. The support's here if you'll bring teams up here to play. They'll come and watch rugby if good teams are coming down here to play.
It certainly augurs well for the Kells club, but it's a magnificent lift for the game of rugby league in this part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah. Good for the supporters. Pretty good for Kells. We have made quite a lot of money out of that, but that wasn't the main thing behind it today. We wanted to see on a man-to-man basis what our players could do, and well, fair enough, we got beat, well beat, but they stood up and stood the task.
Where do you go from here now, Barry?
We'll go from here back to the Kells.
Back to the club.
Yeah. Well, we're back in the league now. I've not won the league at Kells for 7 years, and I made it my aim at the start of this season that we win the league. That's what I want to do. We've gone 13 wins and no loses with 7 games left. I want badly to win the league.
Are you going to manage to hold on to all the players you've got at the moment? Because I've no doubt that there's 1 or 2 professional clubs looking at 2 or 3 of your players.
No, I'm absolutely sure we will not. But anybody who's good enough at the age of 18 and 19 has got to look to the professional game. They've got to better themselves. We're there to make good players and if they want to play professional rugby, that's where we want them to go.
Barry, congratulations to the boys for a great night tonight. A night that I'm sure the rugby league will savour for a long time.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Oh, a tremendous performance, a great crowd, a tremendous atmosphere, and a great promotion for rugby league at every level, both for the amateur and professional game. It was played in a superb spirit by Leeds and by Kells. Both teams threw the ball around, and a score of 28-0 against a side of Leeds calibre was an outstanding performance.
Now, the public of Whitehaven turned out again for a top amateur game against a professional club, didn't they? Which has proved all along that your theory that the rugby league public love these David and Goliath clashes.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, it's part of the English characteristic to support the David and Goliath game. And if the amateur teams are drawn at home, there's no doubt there are bumper crowds. All the locals respond. And Leeds coming up here to Cumbria, it's like the Australians coming up. The schoolboys were there, the youth people were there, people from all over the county came to see it, and it was a great game.
Now, it has been said that this Kells team that played tonight weren't possibly as good as the one that played at Hunslet 2 years ago. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I watched both games, and but you must realise there are different standards of opposition. I mean, Hunslet played very well that day. Kells gave a super performance there, but you must realise that Leeds, at this moment in time, arguably probably one of the very, very best sides in rugby league football, and one must realise that the top 5 sides in the rugby football league at this moment in time, Wigan, Widnes, Warrington, Leeds and St Helens, are in a very, very high class, approaching Sydney standards, and that's got to be taken into account in every game.
Now, Kells as a club, obviously the top team in West Cumbria. Why aren't we seeing them in this National League competition?
Well, they didn't apply at the particular time, but I think Kells now have got so much strength in depth, 3 open age sides, a strong network of junior sides, a good support, a great tradition. We'd like to see Kells in the National League, and I think it'd be another challenge for Kells, another challenge for Whitehaven, and there's no doubt that Kells are quite capable of going into that league and possibly lifting the championship, which pulled the crowds into West Cumbria. One of the top sides in amateur rugby. It's a challenge I don't think Kells, when it stood it carefully, could resist.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of amateur rugby league this season, and Kells are as well organised a team as I've seen.
Oh yes, there's a lot of very well organised clubs in the amateur game. Kells administration is absolutely first class. There's Ray Doran, a superb chairman, in Alan O'Fee, and a hard-working committee, a first-class coach in Barry Smith, who was the former Great Britain youth coach, was also a Barlow regional coach as well, and a network of good coaches behind them, a good committee, good supporters, and a whole town like Whitehaven, which is rugby crazy. Oh yes, a lot of potential. I think they should go in the National League, no doubt about that.
Maurice, thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Peter. It's been a great night, and we've all thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Leeds are broken through again. And this is going to be another 4 points. It comes out to Gibson. The cover comes across. Oh, what a fantastic tackle. Was all over a try, and he came across well. So Leeds switching it back into the middle. And Davidson turning it. Good handling by Leeds. As it comes out to Basnett. Basnett being chased by Martin. Inside to Lyons. Lyons to Tonks. Tonks moving it across. Powell a long pass. And that stretch for Schofield going for the line. Powering his way over. And that's the skill of Schofield.